In regards to my short film, this week hasn't exactly been productive. However, I have gotten some production design decisions down, specifically a color palette that I will be using throughout the duration of the short film. That being said, welcome to the Director's Diary, where I will be documenting the process of creating a short film from pre to post-production, and today we're going to be talking about one of the broadest topics in all of filmmaking and one of the most important, mise en scène. As of writing this script, I haven't had a chance to create any sort of casting list or to send an email in order to book the place. If I've done that by the time I'm in the editing booth, you will see feed of me doing those things, and if I haven't, you will see a photo of a sad dog. So due to the fact that the update portion of this episode is quite light, I want to delve into one of the broadest topics in all of filmmaking, which is mise en scène and how you can use every single asset of visual design in order to enhance your story. So for those not in the know, mise en scène is a French phrase meaning placement on stage. This phrase is used in the theater world to describe everything that an audience member sees, from costume design to actor placement to props to lighting. Everything that you see in a stage play falls underneath mise en scène. In relation to film, however, mise en scène goes a lot deeper than that, dealing with decisions that involve pre- and post-production. So this includes color grading, VFX work, effects, transitions, shot composition, framing, actor placement within the framing. All of these things and more fall under mise en scène. The goal of mise en scène is to make sure that all of the visual elements match up with the tone and delivery of the scene, making sure that everything in frame is supposed to be in frame, and that every decision that you make has some sort of greater purpose to the overarching story. Now, don't get this concept confused with symbolism. Mise en scène goes a lot deeper than that. Mise en scène is just as much, if not more, focused on the surface level rather than the overarching meaning or the symbolism that your audience interprets from what they are watching. With that being said, it is possible to mess up the mise en scène of your story, the most common mistake being the underutilization of its properties. So in an attempt to not fall under these common pitfalls, I've come up with 3 concepts to keep in mind as I rewrite the dialogue, plan for production, and most importantly, add or take away scenes that add or detract from mise en scène. Concept number 1, show, don't tell. Never ever 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 have your characters state exactly what they're feeling. If you do that, it comes off as on the nose, and 9 times out of 10 there is no way to write that kind of dialogue without completely obliterating your audience's suspension of disbelief. If you want to show that your character is sad, show that your character is sad. If you want to show that they're happy, show that they're happy. There are plenty of visual motifs that films have used throughout the years in order to avoid from their characters straight up saying, "Hi, I'm Joe and I'm mad at Diana," or "Hi, I'm Diana and I'm sad that Joe is mad at me." That just comes off as purely unrealistic. My point is that there's plenty of ways to showcase how your character is feeling, what their intentions are, and what their opinions are. Use them. Concept number 2, tone. Have you ever wondered why horror movies usually take place in the dark? Have you ever wondered why romantic comedies usually have oversaturated colors and very, very bright cinematography? That's because the filmmakers have used the setting in order to emphasize the tone of their film. Setting, color palette, and visual aesthetics are one of the most important things in setting a certain tone for your film. There are a lot of filmmakers that bend or break this rule for the sake of story and characterization, for the sake of satire and parody, or for the sake of fixating on a certain character's point of view. However, before you bend or break any of these rules, you need to first understand them. And you also have to keep in mind that filmmakers that do bend or break these rules always have a specific goal in mind. Concept number 3, don't drown in symbolism. There are two parts of a film that are forced to live in harmony: the surface level and the deeper meaning. The reason why Moby Dick is such a classic story isn't just because there are a million different ways that you can interpret it. It's because even without the symbolism, Moby Dick works because it's an engaging story in and of itself. One of the things I notice with short films that I've seen that contain a deeper meaning is that the film tends to hyperfixate on the deeper meaning without exploring how the surface level can harmonize and interweave with that deeper meaning. Think about it this way: if you have to explain the meaning of your short film in order for it to be properly enjoyed, then you didn't put enough groundwork on the surface. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this part of the episode up, and it's time to conjure a sweet and beautiful to-do list that I will follow through this time. I promise. What happened last week will probably happen again, but I'll be honest about it. So just a few things that I've got to do this week on top of the things that I didn't do last week. I'm gonna go back through my script and rewrite it until I truly like it and I feel like I'm communicating the story that I want to communicate. After that, I'm gonna put together some good old-fashioned production decisions. This would be a really good time for me to revisit the locations once again and get some pictures and videos and just play around with them to see if I can come up with the look that I really want and finalize it. Finally, I'm chucking out the working title. I don't know if anybody's actually read the script, but the working title that I have for this short film is Abandonment. And that made sense whenever I first had the idea, but now that this film has matured into something different, I need to find something new. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. If you want a better plot summary, look at my first 2 episodes. I'm surprised you've made it this far if you didn't know what my short film was about. And before I say my now titular outro, I would really appreciate it if y'all left a comment down below with any film ideas that y'all have. I want to see some discussion and I want to see some communication between creators because I feel like that would be really neat to see. And on top of that, it'd be nice to know that I'm actually, inspiring creativity and doing good and stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm asking too much because I got 15 views in my last video, but we're gonna roll with it because that'd be super neat. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that the only diaries you're allowed to read are the ones that are made public.